All right, y'all. It's the Nonsense and Deep Thoughts Podcast.
We are back and we're better than ever. Holy fuck, we switched sides. Hey, how'd that happen?
Oh, hey, what'd you do?
Your lighting is pissing off your camera.
Yeah, well, I hate turning lights on. You're paying my fucking ass.
Do you have yourself a key light or a ring light or something?
I don't even.
I know what I'm getting. I know what I'm getting you for Christmas, buddy. You don't have to have that light on, but I was just pointing it out because
like being in the dark.
Yeah, because you're a cave troll.
it's
still
just
fucking.
It's the camera itself, so the light's going back off.
You do you, boo boo. You do you, boo boo.
Fan back on because I messed that up.
Yeah,
it's been cold, man.
Looked like you were about to have a fucking party in there.
Yeah.
I don't know if I was seeing a strobe light or your smoke flashing in front of the screen or what the hell was going on.
Oh yeah, it's probably my cigarette.
Probably. It is. You know, when I say it's been a while, bro, it's been a while.
April?
At least May. At least since Mila arrived.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, before that.
Like we've had our hiatuses before. But it's like it was always like a few weeks or like a month or so. This has been legit like a half a year hiatus.
Life happened.
But life happened and life is flying by. Like this whole, I feel like I'm losing this whole year. I don't know what's going on right now.
You had a lot happen.
Dude, yeah. I did. And I just, because of everything that happened, I haven't had time to literally do anything. Yeah. So here I am, still struggling to find time to manage. We're getting used to our new normal though. But like every aspect of my life is different than it used to be.
I told you were stupid.
You told me you didn't say I was stupid, you said I was crazy.
Oh yeah, crazy.
It was a little bit different. Kids are screaming now, but it's okay. They'll be fine. My kids scream every day. It's
fine. Who's gonna know? Who's gonna know?
But
yeah,
you know,
man.
before Mila made her grand entrance into this world, I had time because my other two kids were, you know, they're older, they're more self-sufficient, so I had time to play around with my own hobbies. I could spend my time doing my Twitch streaming and the podcasting and everything else. And I could actually put time and effort into it. And now it's just, life is so busy. I go to work, I come home, and because Alex has been with all the kids all day, you know, she's got her hands full with Mila, trying to take care of what she can in the house and playing referee between our two older children who we thought would try to step up and be super helpful to mom and help with the baby. Then they do. I'll give them credit. They do help with the baby and they love her very much, but they still make shit difficult. Even when they're trying to help, they still make things difficult. But it's just, it's been wild, man. Like I relieve the wife when I get home and I've got the baby for a little bit. And by the time Alex is done doing everything, it's like, fuck, man, I'm tired. It's 8 o'clock at night, 8:30 at night. And we're just chilling at that point. I'm watching a little TV, trying to get Mila to eat a little bit more and get ready for bed. Whew.
Yeah. When I said you were crazy, I wasn't just factoring in like the gap. Starting over after that long is crazy in itself. But knowing your two kids and how wild they are, I'm like, oh man.
It's different. Yeah. Well, starting over, like I thought, I'm like, man, I've got all this experience now. I've been through the ringer. This ain't my first rodeo. I'm good to go. But one, my patience is shot. I thought my patience would be better. My patience is shot. And two, it's totally different. Everything is totally different.
Well, it's not
and
different.
I'm relearning
It's
things.
the same. You just don't remember it.
Well, the other thing is I'm a lot older than I was
Yeah.
with the other two. Like my body feels it. Definitely different. But it's good. And like I said, we're getting used to everything. So now that we're getting used to the new normal, I'm trying to find time to get things done that I want to get done and get back into the stuff that I want to get back into. I mean, I did make a crazy decision on the Twitch thing.
Yeah, I know. I'm still sad about that.
That's been a big part of my life for the last 3+ years, almost 4 now. Almost going on years of Twitch. But it's just, man, I just don't have I don't have the energy and I don't have the desire to play the video games as much. Like I still enjoy it from time to time, but
it's because you have so much going on.
I just don't have the energy. And like, there's too much going on with the baby. I don't really have the time for it either. I got to focus on other things,
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's changed. Sheesh.
Yeah, what have you done since we last went live?
Not much. Worked.
Yeah.
Struggle to get by, like living the American dream,
Yeah, paycheck to paycheck, homie.
Felt guilty going on vacation last week. The whole
But it was
time
nice.
I felt guilty. Oh, it was beautiful.
So why were you feeling guilty?
Just like I could be using that money for other shit, and Phoebes didn't want to come. Like, she's not a beach person.
Yeah.
So like I had to leave on a Sunday when I was supposed to have her, so that made me feel guilty. It was a lot of anxiety led up to vacation. The week was good.
I feel like that tends to happen a lot.
The anxiety leading up, and the anxiety I know that's gonna come now that I gotta catch up on shit. It's just,
yeah,
I hate it.
But
Adulting sucks.
It does.
Hopefully, I'm a billionaire tonight.
Listen, man, if we want to turn this episode into some like, yeah, dude, I did the same thing. I bought a side note because I fucking heard you say that as I started talking. I bought a ticket too.
I got
like
5.
My last $2 in my wallet, I bought one.
I got 5.
It's never gonna happen, but if it does, woohoo!
Dude, that would be amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, but we could turn this into an episode on mental health and the state of our country when it comes to the economy and shit like that. But
God,
dude, this living paycheck to paycheck thing is getting old, man.
There's no getting away from it though.
Like I keep saying, I have to figure out how to save for retirement, but how? I can't. And now it's even more difficult because Alex can't work. She's home with the baby.
Yeah.
And because Mila is special needs, because she's got Down syndrome, and because of her issue she had at birth, the TEF, tracheoesophageal fistula. I got it, I think. But yeah, because of all that, for anybody who doesn't know, the TEF, that means that her esophagus was not fully connected to her stomach. It actually, instead of connecting to the stomach, it formed a little pocket. So at 3 days old, my baby was like 3 pounds 9 ounces. They had to perform surgery on her to reconnect that. And it was fucking wild. But because of all these things, man, like I'm afraid of leaving her with any kind of daycare. I'm afraid of leaving her with any kind of sitters. So shit, like she can't really work. Yo, Adam Engvoldson in chat. What's up, my man? Says, wow, Justin, look at your hair. Love you guys. Well, we love you too, Adam.
Ain't it beautiful, man? Look at that.
So nice and prickly. It gleams. It gleams in the camera.
Feels so good.
You should glitter.
Well, it's also very tan right now.
Yeah.
Usually it looks like a cue ball.
Mm-hmm.
I think a cue ball has more color than my head.
Yeah. Yeah, but you didn't get burned on vacation, did you?
No, I was smart. I was very proud. when we got down there, I went to the store and I bought some sunscreen, put it up when I got back in front of the sun that was coming up over the water. And I took a picture and I sent it to my mom. I was like, you're going to be so proud. Because you remember last time I
Oh. Yep.
And that's what I usually do.
Yeah. Man, so if we want to get back on that fucking topic of money and the economy and all this stupid shit.
Oh, man.
Dude, I got to tell you, I'm making more money now than I have at any point in my life, and I am worse off than ever before. I can't afford jack shit. I still do, because I was saying this the other day to Alex. I'm like, man, like I know we can't afford this and we can't afford that, and we've got to catch up on bills, but this is the way I'm looking at it right now. That couple of extra hours I could get in OT at work is not really going to help me catch up on jack. It's not going to help me catch up on anything. And no matter what, my bills are always going to be there. Catching up on bills with your regular paychecks, it just doesn't happen anymore. It's tough. So if I have something that I can spend a little bit of money on to make me happy, even for a little bit of fucking time, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Just like you said, you feel guilty for going on vacation because you could have spent that money on other things. But you needed that. You needed that. Your bills are going to be there when you get home.
Yeah, I know.
It's not like spending that money on your bills. They're magically going to go away. That shit piles up no matter what. And it's...
And that feeling, making best money we've ever made, and it's like, I live by myself and I'm like struggling. Feel like I'm struggling. Can't ever get ahead. It's just that sucks.
Yeah, man. When you said to me, and then it's 2 times now that you've said to me, you don't know how I do it. Like you thought about it and you're like, I don't know how you do it. Just you're the only one working. You're paying bills for your whole family. I'm telling you, man, I don't. I look like I'm above water, but like literally, it's like this is the tip of the iceberg. Like there's a lot more underwater than you think. Like I'm going down soon. It's fucking terrible. But it's like it's all about finding a balance and making sure that you're somewhat caught up, I guess. You gotta balance it out and go pay this one this week, pay that one that week, pay a little here, pay a little there. But the bills are always going to be there, man. Like you have to do something to keep your sanity. Like you with your golf now. You go golfing, you spend a little bit of money on it, you buy a new club, you go play a round or two. Is that money you could have put towards a bill? Sure.
Oh, absolutely.
But if all you're doing,
so worth it.
Yeah, exactly. If all you're doing is going to work, going home, and eating, bathing, going back to sleep, and doing it again the next day, nobody likes that monotonous life, man. That's not healthy for you. It's not. Yo, what do you think of
I'm listening. I got to show you one of the views that I had.
Oh, okay. Aaron, what is up? Aaron in chat. Welcome back, kids. Thank you, sir. It has been a year. It has been a long ass year. How have you been, my friend? What do you think about changing to a 4-day-a-week work week? I feel like I've read. Man, I wish I was up on this.
But
I did read one.
People going to get by.
I did read one thing before. I think it's the unions trying to do this. They're trying to make it so that you work 30 hours but get paid 40 hours. I think this is something that they're trying to do. What do you think of that? I mean, I would love to work less hours and still get paid the same. But I would love to do 4 10-hour days and have 3 days off every single week. I did that once before, and man, that was glorious because you get your time. You get your time with your family. You get time to do things. And if you want to have a nice weekend trip, you don't have to take time off. You don't have to use vacation days. It's beautiful. Adam says we all need that mental
why
outlet.
I like my schedule.
Your schedule's cool and all, but it's 12-hour shifts and it's 7 at night to 7 in the morning. That would destroy me.
Right. I mean, that part of it is, I've thought about going to days. There's just too many people for me. But I get the 2. I work 2. I'm off 2. I work 3. I'm off 2. I work 2. I'm off 3.
Yeah, it's not terrible. Adam says we all need that mental outlet, a place where we can de-stress. Yeah, we do. And I'm working on getting more of that for myself. That's the other thing with the gaming that I've really been looking at lately is when I'm doing that, yes, I have fun doing it, and I've met a lot of great people doing it, and I don't regret any of that one bit. It's a lot of fun, and I have made some money doing it. Like I had a decent year last year. But one, they don't take out taxes and you get hit with it during tax season. Like I think I earned about 14 and I had to pay in over 4 of that. So that was kind of crazy. But 2, it's a lot of time spent inside, man. The time that I did get to myself this summer, I tried to be outside as often as possible, and it does a lot for your psyche being outside, man, getting that vitamin D. And Justin, I mean the vitamin D from the sun. We're not talking kids jokes here, okay? We're not talking like 7th, 8th grade jokes. All right? Like real vitamin D. There's a lot to be said for spending time outside in nature. And it's just so much nicer, man. I was so much happier. Are you there?
I'm here.
Justin? Were you just still looking for a picture?
I found it. I'm just trying to.
Yeah, Aaron's down with that, but you'd have to make it 10-hour days. And I'm perfectly fine with that. I'm good with that. Adam says he misses gaming. And see, like I love gaming. There's a time and place for everything. And I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Like a lot of women, they like to read books, my wife included. I know a lot of women who are very much into reading. I know a lot of people in general who are into reading. You have, this is what we're doing.
Bro.
So relaxing. Are you going to make some wave noises?
That was the moon the first night I was there. Jesus Christ.
Sure, he likes the D. You know he does, man. You know he does.
I love it.
But yeah, so I mean, there are people that think that gaming will rot your brain, and I never wanted to be one of those people who thought that kind of thing. But my kids, man, I tell you what, when they do nothing but game, they are little shitheads. They're terrible, absolutely awful. I take the games away, they're well behaved. It's crazy, but the point I was getting at with the reading and stuff like that, like people say it's not really a good hobby. Man, listen, when you get a good game, you get into the story, and that story for gamers is the same feeling readers get when they're reading a book, or like an avid what do they call, all right, I was gonna just say someone who loves movies, but there's a word for that, isn't that a cinephile? Is it cinephile? Is that right? When a cinephile watches a movie, I'm saying the word. I don't know if I'm right. Correct me if I'm wrong in chat, or leave a message, leave a comment on YouTube.
Or
guys, if you're watching on YouTube or on Facebook, please make sure you click that like button. It helps with the algorithm. It doesn't help us all that much because we're still teeny tiny guys, but hey, man, we had Dave Mandow on the show. Right. That was fucking cool. Cinephile?
You had it right. Cinephile.
Fuck yeah.
A person who is fond of motion pictures.
Look what you gone and did now, bro. We changed our cameras. There we go. Now we're better.
Well, you're better.
So that's what you need then. You need a new camera. You're still using that one that I gave you?
Yeah.
We gotta get you a nice one.
It doesn't like motion.
No, it likes to be fixated.
And I don't move very fast, so just saying.
Yeah.
So who'd have thought? We're just randomly.
I don't think
that down in the Outer Banks playing golf, our last round we played, Chris and I would make adult friends.
Adult friends. Now, when you say adult, you mean like older than you?
They were older.
Because when you were telling me the story, I'm like, you make adult friends? Like, what do you mean? Like, we make adult friends all the time. We're adults. What are you going around making friends with children all the time? Or like what?
Like
it's a little bit weird. We might have some problems.
We mean no, older than us.
older gentlemen who have their shit figured out. Older dudes who have their shit
lives
figured
together.
I don't know what the fuck that's like. Sorry guys, I cussed. I'm sorry.
I
forget I'm on my actual personal Facebook page today to try to drum up some people, but
I got to do one more picture. Now that I'm thinking of that round. Oh man.
Who'd have thunk that you would have made friends with a normal human being? I don't think that I would have ever imagined that, man. I can't imagine.
Me either. Like,
you're ridiculous.
No way. They're adult friends, man.
Yeah. So anybody who's watching right now, check out
super cool.
Check out the ticker on the bottom of the screen. I have I've started a new project. I got to get back to it. It's kind of like a whenever I have time kind of thing. I started a new podcast called Tales from the NICU. It's designed to help families who have been through the NICU experience, or they've been in the PICU or the CICU, that's the cardiac intensive care unit, with their little ones who have been through it or are currently going through it, to hear some stories, hear what other people have gone through, try to prepare themselves, just help them through a tough time. So check that out over on Spotify, Tales from the NICU. And if you have an experience you want to share, make sure you email talesfromthenicu@yahoo.com. Well, hello, Lisa. It's nice to see you. How are you doing tonight? I don't know if Justin knows what he's doing right now.
I do.
Okay. He's learning this.
I'm relearning this.
Relearning.
Which one is this?
It's the other one.
This one.
Lisa, we were just discussing how Justin loves him some vitamin D.
No. But what kind of snake is this?
I don't know, because I don't know snakes from that area. It's a beautiful snake.
No,
it's gorgeous.
You.
Look at it. It's gorgeous.
It was terrifying. Terrifying.
That was down in Carolina. They have rat snakes down there, yeah?
Yeah.
It could be, because the black snakes up around here are rat snakes. That's a big one, though.
Yeah.
That's a big trouser snake.
We've heard rat snake. We've heard northern black racer, or whatever the hell they're called.
Do black racers get that? Do they get that big though?
I don't know. And then I sent it to you, and your first thought was
water moccasin.
And when I looked up big black snakes on the Outer Banks, water moccasin wasn't one of them. So I Googled it. Another name for a water moccasin is a cottonmouth. They have them.
But is it a big black snake?
Yeah.
Okay. Because water moccasins are venomous, if I recall.
Yeah, but another name for them is a cottonmouth.
Yeah.
So
rat snakes do get fairly big. They get big.
That was almost 8 foot long. That snake was
a big
huge.
Snake. I like snakes though. They're good.
I image searched it on Google, and that picture, and it came up with like a 3-inch, 50-foot long, like riveted pipe.
What?
Yep.
Was that like Google Lens?
Yeah. That's what
this is. This is a really cool pipe, man. That's really cool. It bends and shit.
It was like that.
It could have also been a
black corrugated pipe.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what it came up as. I was like, oh.
Yeah, the flex pipe. We sell that. I saw that shit. Yeah, talk about creepy crawlies, man. I'm an avid fan of all the things that you are not. See, I like snakes. I like spiders.
Ew.
The snakes, I mean, Alex doesn't want snakes in her garden. She just doesn't want to see them. I think if they're there, she's cool with it as long as she doesn't see them. Snakes are great for your garden, man. They keep the bugs away. It's good. They keep the rodents away. They're good. See, she's got voles. I bet you if I had some nice big garter snakes in there, they'd be good. Get them, right? And then spiders. As for spiders, man, I don't kill spiders in my house. I don't do it. Yeah, I'll tell you why. And even if they're the big black fuzzy house spiders or the funnel webs or whatever, even wolf spiders, I will catch them bitches and I will take them outside. They'll probably find their way back in, but I don't care because they pay their rent. I do not see a lot of bugs in my house because these spiders are cool. They pay their rent. I don't know if anybody else feels that way, but you should. Nope, Actually, they make this really, dude, they make this really cool tool that I want to get. It's a spider catcher. So it's like a long tong type of tool. You know, like the garbage picker tongs?
Yeah.
It's like that, but instead of having the tong at the end, it's got like these really soft bristles that like, there's my camera. It's up here. So when you squeeze it, it kind of slowly and gently closes around the spider and you catch it and you take it outside and you drop it. I want to get one. I got to get one of those so I don't hurt my spider friends. Hey, man, they're good for you. They're good for your house.
No, I just looked over at the computer screen.
Justin will freak out.
The fucking snake's still on my screen. Yuck.
You didn't run the other way, did you? You go play the previous hole?
Oh,
like, I'm not going anywhere near that shit.
All three of us. So it was super weird. We were on the fourth tee box. I had to tee off first. And out of nowhere, this frog just comes. It's flying. I've never seen a frog jump so high and so far. It was probably jumping 4 foot up and clearing 10 feet every jump. And it was screaming. Like making weird ass noises. And I was like, well, that was weird. So I step up to the tee box, and all of a sudden the guy that we had gotten paired up with, he was like, what the fuck is that? And I turn around and I see this snake with its head lifted, like a foot of it lifted up. And I was like, I just started running. If it started to come at me, I had the club ready to smack it. Nope. And then it took its sweet ass time going across the tee box. We were not going on there until he was gone.
You didn't want to chase it away?
Nope. And he kept
looking.
Shoot. No, because he
kept
shoo
him with your club.
He kept looking back. No.
He was looking at you because he was afraid of you. You know that, right?
No, he was looking at us because he wanted to eat us.
I will give you the same advice that my father gave to me when I was a young hunter. Going into the woods at the ass crack of before dawn, flashlighting our ways to our stand, or where we were going to sit, me usually under a tree or a fucking stone wall. He would always tell me, everything in these woods is more afraid of you than you are of them. I mean, it makes sense. The only thing that's not really scared of me is a fucking bear because they're stupid. They might stare at me like, whatever. But it's not like they're out to get me.
I know they're scared of me, but I'm more scared of them.
Yeah, what dude, it always gets me with Alex too. And you're probably the same fucking way. I haven't seen you around one yet. A garter snake, itty bitty little fucking rubber band, and you're afraid of it.
Oh, I jump and I stay away from it. I won't run. I don't run away from them anymore.
My wife jumped up onto a rocking chair on our porch because she thought one was coming up onto our porch. She saw it on the sidewalk and jumped on a rocking chair. All right. What? She could have took herself out over a teeny tiny baby snake.
Listen,
that was just surviving.
I think my big issue is I can't identify him quick enough, and I don't know him well enough, and I'm not interested in learning about it at this point now.
So you don't have to be
that's why all the crawlies, it's like,
if I can't identify it, if I can't identify it, I don't go grab it. Which is something I had to yell at my son about last summer.
No,
because summer. I looked out the bathroom window at him grabbing a snake because the neighbor across the street, their grandson, taught my son how to grab a snake so that it doesn't bite you. And instead of teaching him how to grab it behind the head, like coming up slowly and like pinching it behind the head so that its head can't turn around, he grabs it by the tail and starts whipping it, like just spinning it so that it cannot adjust. It can't try to get him. So I look out the bathroom window. My wife is screaming. My son is picking up this snake, spinning it in circles, and he launches it towards the basketball court. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, okay, you're brave and you picked up a snake. That's great. But I went down to him. I'm like, do you know what kind of snake that was? And he's like, no. I was like, don't touch it unless you know. If it's a garter snake, cool, fine. That's cool. If it's something non-venomous and you know what it, you can identify it, cool, great, fine. But if you don't know, don't fucking touch it. Because if it happened to be a copperhead, like a certain sibling of mine ran into recently,
who actually, from what they said when I saw them, was trying to pick it up the right way.
Yeah, well, yeah, but that's what I'm saying is, if it's something you cannot identify and it happens to be that, which she knew what it was, she was trying to protect her dog, but it could hurt and it could do a lot of damage. Like Jess is in, she was in a great deal of pain when she got hit by that thing, man.
Yeah, even the other day, she, like, you could tell it started to bother her.
And she said her hand and arm started to turn like black, and there was just so much pain. I was like, I can't.
Nope.
I can't imagine. And her little dog got hit too. And all I could think was, it's a good thing you got hit first. Because if the little chihuahua got hit by a young copperhead first, that may not have ended well for the pup. Yep. Because it got hit second, it got a lower dose of that venom. So it protected. She did protect it, a little bit, because he was good the next day.
Yeah, nope. Those nope ropes don't get played with.
Those nope ropes.
I'm not a fan.
Satan's jump rope.
They are the devil.
If you say so.
No, thank you.
Listen, man, I'm just happy to be doing this again, and we're trying new things. This is a nice, calm conversation tonight. We're not getting into anything too controversial today. I mean, I think at this point, even coming on here and saying the leader of the free world is a piece of shit is pretty much mutually agreed upon at this point. If there are still people out there that think Joe Biden is a fantastic man and is running the country fantastically, you got more problems than being offended by what I just said. So, I mean, it is what it is. There I go. There I go with the controversial shit again.
I can't.
Oh, you can't what? You don't want to talk about that kind of stuff? I'm just going to get you fired up?
Yeah. Like...
So, I mean...
I've actually stopped paying
hooray, Ukraine.
So don't...
Right? I mean, hooray, Ukraine. Let's just keep sending them more money. Right? You ever see...
we already funded Hamas, so...
I was going to get to that bullshit a little bit, but I was just going to say, with all the money we've already sent to Ukraine, have you ever seen the little write-ups from any of the right-leaning creators discussing the different things we could have paid for within our own country with the money that we sent over to Ukraine? We could have gotten, I think the one thing it said was we could have given, I think this might've been from one of Crowder's posts. We could have given every homeless vet in our country $5 million with the money we sent to Ukraine. Could have gotten them off the streets. We could have built the border wall twice over, I think it was. We could have cleaned up the Flint, Michigan water problem 4 times over. But instead, we send all this money and weapons
we don't have
over to Ukraine to fight against Russia. And we're going to get drawn into this shit. We're going to get, it's going to happen.
How about who? I forget who it is. Wants to go after Elon Musk because he wouldn't supply satellites.
Who is this from over there?
No, over here.
Over here, they
Yeah,
wanted to attack, like go after him and do what? Like
sue him
they wanted to sue him because he wouldn't send
or
satellites
charge him with
to Ukraine.
I forget what. Yeah,
because he wouldn't send them to Ukraine to help with whatever the fuck they're doing over there.
Yep.
Here's the thing I don't understand, man. This is the thing that I don't understand. Like, you've got all these people over here when all this shit really was ramping up. All these people saying, I stand with Ukraine, this, that, and the other. There are some conflicts that when they happen in this world, we don't need to do anything.
There's a lot of them that we don't have
That's
to do.
That's not our job. Oh, now I'm gonna go off on tangents and I might piss some people off, but it's okay. Bear with me. I don't care. We don't need to do that because Ukraine, and I'm not talking like the people in general. When I talk about a certain country and how horrible it is, I don't necessarily mean their people, because their people aren't always guilty. Like people say America's a shit country. We're awful. We're horrible. They say it all the time. Do they mean our government or do they mean us? Because I don't know. Maybe we are shit. But Ukraine is not a great country. It's not. You're sitting here cheering on Ukraine. They are not a great country. Some of the shit that they do over there, like, you would get furious if you saw them do shit like that here. If you saw anybody doing that kind of thing over here, you'd get pissed off. You really need to look into their culture and the kind of things they do. It's bullshit. They're not better than Russia. Both of those countries can piss off for all I care. And then, like you said, we funded Hamas with their fucking this is a whole fucking thing now too. Like, do you stand on the side of Hamas? Do you stand with the Jewish people, Israel? What do you do? Who do you back? Do we need to do anything? Now, here's the other thing too. They were really trying to. Sorry, I'm doing a lot of talking.
Now, wasn't there supposed to be like a truce between them?
I don't know. They've tried to draw up peace treaties and shit, and it just doesn't work.
Well, Trump got one signed.
Yeah, and then he left office.
United
Arab
Emirates, yeah.
But it doesn't matter, and there is so much shit that's if you go on any of these social media sites, they try to convince you hardcore that Hamas is not in the wrong, that Palestine is not in the wrong. Everything you see coming from Israel is self-defense. The way I see it, it's all self-defense. Hamas attacked a peace festival and killed innocent civilians. It's wild, some of the things I saw from what's happened. Like the one article I read, they raped a woman, murdered her, and then drug her behind a vehicle while shouting, "God is good." How is your God good in that situation? I don't understand that.
To them screaming it, they're getting what they want.
So it doesn't matter who started the conflict, who's continuing the conflict. This shit's been going on forever, by the way. It's not just a past 5 years, past 10 years thing. This shit's been going on forever. Israel just wants a place to call home. They're trying, like, Hamas is trying to eradicate them. They're trying to do away with them. But you don't see the people of Israel doing the things that Hamas does. This whole rape, murder, innocent civilians, drag them behind vehicles, that kind of thing. You don't see anybody who does something like that is evil.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. We don't need to back shit like that. I don't know. And you know what? Back to the thing before about how other countries talk shit about the U.S., and how horrible we are, and this, that, and the other.
It's not just
who's the first.
That's a lot of people in this fucking country say that too.
Yeah, but who's the first person you call? Who's the first country you call for aid when you're in trouble? That's a direct question to anybody outside of this country. Who's the first country called to help? We have been given the role, whether they gave it to us or we basically beat our chest and said, hey, we got this. We have become the world police in a sense. Like, we are the ones policing the globe. People look to us for help. And there are still people out there that talk shit. Say that our country is not the greatest country in the world. If our country isn't the greatest country in the world, why are there so many people fleeing to it? Why aren't they fleeing to Canada? And you know what? I'm sure they are. I'm sure they are fleeing to Canada and in places in Europe, because you see that with this migrant shit. Oh my God, I can go off on a tangent on that too. These fucking cities, man. Oh God, I fucking can't. Hello, Alex. How are you tonight? It's lovely to see you, Alex, in chat. Hello. It's wonderful to see you.
I was ready for you to go off.
Man, I could, but China.
I'm just here for the show.
Listen, I think some bad shit's coming. So the October 4th thing where they did the national test for the emergency alert system. That same day they were running tests in Russia too. Do you know that? No. People were talking about it leading up to it, and they're being called conspiracy theorists. So what, are we going to all turn into zombies? Is that what this thing's going to do to us? No, that's not necessarily it, but the way they were promoting this and the way that they went about everything, it didn't seem like a normal thing. Like, people were just kind of like, their ears perked up a little bit. Their brains opened up a little bit. They're like,
haven't they done this before?
They do these tests all the time, but if we want to get into the conspiracy end of things, the same day Russia was running tests in drills. They were running nuclear drills. Kids in school were taught how to put on gas masks. They were practicing getting people, and I'm sure it was like important people from how the video seemed, practicing how to get into their fallout shelters and shit. And it was like this big to-do about nuclear warfare in Russia the same day that we had our little alert test. So, I mean, take it with a grain of salt. I mean, do with it what you will. Maybe there's something to it. Maybe there's not. Who knows? Maybe we're all fucking crazy. UFO cover-up, Joseph says. Joseph says UFO cover-up for what? Well, here's the other thing about the UFO cover-up shit is now they're telling us about UFOs. Why? Ooh, yeah, dude. You know what else would be a fun episode to do, or a fun topic to do for an episode? You know what's coming around big now that I like to look at and read about is the whole flat Earth theory.
Oh, jeez.
It's fun. It's fun to read this stuff. It's interesting. And there's a lot of shit. There's a lot of shit going on, like on a biblical scale. And it makes me want, like, the more I read and the more I see, the more I want to read the Bible. Like, I've never really read the Bible cover to cover. Never done it. But that's a fucking tall task for someone like me. I don't know if I could do it. I'd like to. I'd like to see what's in it and what it says. Alex says, I'm good. How was vacation, Justin? We went to Outer Banks this year and I loved it.
Aside from seeing a 8-foot long rope, nope rope, it was amazing.
He showed the picture of his nope rope before.
Fuck that.
And then he also showed a picture of the snake. Oh. Sometimes I have good ones. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I'm just a piece of shit.
The flat Earth thing, I can't get myself to read through some of it because it's just so out there.
Listen, some of it is, some of it isn't. Some of it makes sense. Some of it's like, meh. I'm not going to say I'm a flat earther. I'm not. I'm just saying that I think it's interesting to read. It's like reading about and learning about other religions, seeing what other people believe. And I'm telling you, man, some of these people, they make some compelling arguments with their shit. It really makes you think.
But
Joseph wants to know, are you Christians? I don't know how to explain what I am. I grew up Catholic. I married my wife and I married her in a Free Methodist church. We went to Free Methodist church for a little while. But I stopped going to church. I guess I would say I'm a believer in God. I don't know if you'd call me a Christian. Does that make me a Christian? I don't go to church. I do believe in God. I believe in a higher power. Because there's nothing crazier about believing in God than there is about believing at one point in time there was nothing. And then all of a sudden, all of that nothing came together and exploded and made shit that just kept evolving. I mean, it's called the theory of evolution for a reason. That's the way I look at it.
I'm agnostic. Like, there's something, agnostic. I don't know what.
Yeah.
Like,
Justin, stop smoking right now, Jordan said. That's funny. But listen, man, I've looked at a couple of maps that these flat earthers have shown, and they're pretty interesting, man. When you look at it, like the most intriguing part to me, the one that I saw, well, one of the many fucking different ones that I saw, because they're not all the same. They're not all the same, but a lot of them reference the old maps of like the first explorers. You know, back in like the 1300s, 1400s, 1500s, people that mapped the world. Like down where Antarctica is, they didn't draw ice. They drew land and they drew animals like all over the map. All over the map, they drew animals like from the different continents that they would see. And down in Antarctica, they drew animals as well. Like it was regular land. It wasn't ice on this map. It was crazy. And then another one has an actual ice wall, like an ice ring surrounding all the land and like a narrow passageway that you can get through. And then there's land beyond that, unexplored. So they say when you see extraterrestrials, it's not actually aliens. It's just people from the undiscovered land, unexplored land. Oh, it's fucking crazy. We should do a show on that. You know what we should do?
So
we should reach out.
Explaining that map though sounds a lot like that show. What the hell was that? That I told
Ancient Apocalypse?
Watch? Yeah. That those maps were like that, but that's the case to make for a intelligent civilization before the Ice Age.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But there's all kinds of angles to look at it from. Again, now, listen, disclaimer, people. I'm not saying I'm a flat earther, okay? I'm just saying this shit's interesting to read. And if I find something interesting and I get on it, I go down some fucking rabbit holes, all right? Like, I could see how people can be convinced. Like Kyrie Irving, that dude got convinced like that because he went down some fucking rabbit holes. But here's the other thing to think about. Why do we think it's so absurd to think that the earth is flat? What makes it so absurd to us?
Well, one, you can see the curvature. When you look out over when you look out over the ocean, you can see it.
I guess so. But how about all those images from outer
flat,
space?
You would be able to see way further.
Well, is that
because of the curvature? You can. I think it's 11 miles. Is either way is what the horizon is.
Jordan says the Earth is actually octagon.
With all the fighting going on right now, probably is.
Listen, they make. All right. The one thing that I gotta pull all this together, and we have to go through this, and we have to do this on the show, okay? Because it's fucking interesting. Like I said, it's easy to see. Not everybody, okay? Not all these people make good arguments, but there are some people who really do their research and they find things that make you think and make you go, Like the one thing was someone asked the pilot if they have to if they have to adjust or think about the rotation of the Earth and the curvature of the Earth as they're taking off and landing, because there's some kind of mathematical equation where you should have to take into account the curvature of the Earth because of how fast the jet is flying. And the pilot was like, no, you don't have to do that. And when you look at the documents that they show, now I'm going to tell you, I don't know if they're real documents, doctored documents, fake. I don't know what it is. But the documents for this kind of shit, showing the equations for it and everything, says this is these equations are based on a non-moving flat Earth. It says in the document. Why?
That's probably doctored, bro.
It could be. It could be, but what if it's not? But no, so the point
there was a show, I can't remember if it was on what streaming platform it was on, but it was about, I went fuzzy. It was about flat earthers.
Uh-huh.
And like they're trying to prove all their theories and shit, and they had this idea that if they set up a laser on like this one flat stretch, I forget where the fuck they were, and I think they set it up, it was like 3 miles away.
That's what it's supposed to be. That's when it starts to curve, at 3 miles out.
And they shot the laser at this thing, and they knew the heights and all of that, and it was low. And they came up with all sorts of excuses as to why that could have happened, except for and it was like right on with what the curve, like how low it should have been. And they made up every excuse that it wasn't because the Earth was round.
That's what a lot of people do for anything that they are researching. They, instead of trying to look at things objectively, they try to come up with reasons that it will still match what they want to find. It's the same all over science. It's the same. But what I was trying to get at before, and I'll get to Joseph's question in just a second. Thank you for the question, Joseph. I'm trying really hard to figure out if I know that account or not. But the point I was trying to get at before was, why is it that we find it so unbelievable? Like, why do we see, or why do we think that it's an unbelievable thing to think that the Earth is flat? Why do we think that? And my answer is, it's because what we've been conditioned to believe since we were young. And it's not just with that, but it's with a lot of different things that we believe, that we hold to be true in our minds since the time we're young, because that's what we're taught. Right? We're told this.
To a degree, yeah, but like just with my eyes, like it.
What do you think of all the NASA images
and then how do you explain satellites, and like you got to factor all that in. How do you explain satellites, and why does the sun come up in the same spot all the time? Why does it go east to west? As it goes across the country, why do we have to change times so the sun goes down at the same time?
Do you know what I want to know? I want to know why the sun and the moon are the same exact size in our sky.
They're not.
Bullshit.
They're close.
The sun and the moon are the same size in our sky.
I think it fluctuates, as like sometimes the moon's huge, sometimes the sun is. It's just. If it was a flat Earth, as soon as the sun came up over fucking China, the whole fucking Earth would be fucking lit up.
They have little. We're gonna find this stuff. I'm gonna show you. They actually have models that they made, little videos and stuff, to visual aids to help you see things the way they see things. And they have theories for that, for the sun and the moon and daytime and nighttime. It's interesting. Again, disclaimer, people, I am not saying I believe the Earth is flat. I believe the Earth is round. I'm with you, Justin. I'm just saying it's interesting. It is interesting to me.
See the sun. Get on the interesting book.
The sun. No, come on, man. Anyway, Joseph says the sun is bigger just further away. No, so the sun is fucking huge. in comparison to the moon, it is further away from us than the moon, but how is it that it is at the perfect distance away to match the moon in size in our own sky? How is it that close? Like, we're talking like light years away from us. It's crazy how far it is from us compared to the moon, and how big it is compared to the moon. But how do they equal out in size? It's crazy. And now here's the other answer to that, since Joseph, we're talking about religion, is it could just be God's plan. He put things at the perfect distance. He made things perfectly for mankind. Yes. See? All right, we're on the same page. Yes, that. So Joseph wanted to know, are there any religions either of you have discounted to this point, and why? So I will tell you, I have not done enough research into any religion. I believe we have discussed the idea of having people on from different religions just so we can learn, about other
I would
religions
answer
and
that
other people's
as,
cultures.
if there's one religion you discount all of them, because they're all based on the same principal stories. Maybe different. I'm going to use a term that's going to fucking piss people off. Different characters, different names, like different things happening,
The
but all the
same
stories are
the same God, but
similar
different God.
enough to be considered. I don't know. They're similar enough that every religion is based on the same shit.
The
It's
religions
just
are all
where people
developed,
have
and
taken it from there. Like the Christian
they're
religion and the Catholic religion, it became about money.
I want to know true history of all this shit first off, because it's a lot of it's similar. There's a lot of similarities, but it's based on different cultures and where they are, and at what point in time they started believing in
It
all
could
of this
just
in
be
their timeline.
it could just be as simple as it just translated differently.
That's another interesting thing, is how much has the Bible been changed
Way
over
too
the
many
years?
times. Way too many times.
Did
Have
you
you seen the
see
thing going around on
China?
TikTok? No.
Oh,
There's a guy who's talking about, in the Bible it says, "Call me by my name," or "Do not," I don't know, something about his name. Jesus wasn't his name.
oh yes, I did see that. But I don't know. Again, I've never read the Bible, so I don't know. They said he wasn't called Jesus until afterward, but Jesus was God, right? He was God in man form.
It's just a title.
God is just the title. Yeah, and the
And
part that
Jesus
pissed me off
wasn't his
about that
name. So,
video,
like,
the part that pissed me off about the video is he didn't fucking get to the point where he says the name.
there's other videos out there where he does say what his name was. I've seen them and I can't remember what it was.
I didn't watch that video, but I would like to know. Anyway, but back to his original question is, are there any you discount? So I kind of talked about how I don't know enough about any of them, but I feel like I want to say if one's calling you to violence against anybody who doesn't believe, like there's one in particular I think about, then I want to discount that one. The one where they say to kill others if they do not believe what you believe.
Okay, here's.
But now that if I remember correctly, there's two different beliefs in that one.
And neither one of them say that. That's the culture.
That's
not
the culture.
That's not the religion. That's the culture. That is. I don't want to compare it to like Catholicism in America, like, or what Catholicism became. Like, it was laid out where you got to give this much money and this. It's just a branch off that culture took over on that.
Yeah.
Like, that's how they personally felt. They felt so strongly about their religion that they were willing to do that, and it just evolved from there. The religion itself is basically the same as Christians. It really is.
Well, I mean, holy wars were fought, in the name of Christianity, way back in Renaissance times. Like that shit's happened. A lot of historical wars have been fought because of religion, and I get that. But I guess it goes to you in saying it's a culture thing because clear. I mean, I'm definitely talking about. I don't know. Is Islam and Muslim is different, correct? Islam is different from Muslim, isn't it?
No,
I don't know what the difference is. But like you meet a lot of Muslims in our country who, they're good God-fearing people. But then you see the stuff from overseas. You see the Middle Eastern countries, and like it's all, death to infidels. Like anybody who doesn't believe, they think should die. And I don't like, to me, that was portraying the religion. But if you're saying that's just a cultural thing,
it's just their culture.
If that's just a cultural thing, not a religious thing,
true religion, and they're trying to push it on the world, a lot like the Catholics did.
And like I can't even talk about the Quran because I know there's a lot of violence and stuff in the Quran, but there's also a lot of violence in the Bible.
There's a ton of violence.
People don't realize that.
And
like
as my brother would put it, my brother, I won't say his name, but the middle one.
Thank you for clearing that up, Joseph. He says Islam is the religion. A Muslim is a follower of Islam. Okay.
Okay. He's not religious at all. He's read the Bible. His exact words is, your God. Like if you're like talking to me like he didn't know I was on the fence. He goes, your God's fucking evil.
Yeah, when you read some of the stories in the Bible, it's kind of wild, man. Which is, I don't know.
There's a lot of sketchy shit in the Bible.
There are some things that I've read, and I'm like, man, if you believe in an all-powerful God and you say he cares about his children, judge not lest ye be judged yourself. You say all these amazing, beautiful things about God, and then he wants you to kill someone in the fucking Bible. It's some of the things you read, you're like, is this really what a true and just God would want? Right.
So I Googled it.
It's crazy.
Jesus, name in Hebrew was Yeshua.
Yeshua. Mm-hmm.
And that guy goes on to explain, like, it got pulled out of the Bible how many centuries ago? For whatever fucking reason.
Yeah.
It's just...
What is going on, Justin? How are you, man? Yeah, but listen, man.
Why the fuck did we go there?
Because it's fun. It's how it evolves. This is where we go the tangenting. Okay, but this is intriguing stuff. When you get to learn something, especially when we do this live and we have people in chat who are coming up with some good stuff for us to use, they can help us learn. And that's what I love about this, man. That's what I enjoy. I think that's a good thing. And I would love to talk more about religion and the kind of topics that a lot of people don't really want to touch on because, again, I want to learn. I like learning. And like I said, we've talked about this before. I would love to have people from different religious backgrounds on the show so we can discuss it. And not just be like,
that'll be a lot of me being quiet because...
Hey, what do you believe? Hey, what kind of holidays do you celebrate? That's cool and all, but what's the history of your religion? What kind of historical value is there? What kind of lessons are there? Why do you believe what you believe? How is what you believe different from what they believe? I don't know. That's fun to me. Maybe we can figure something out with that.
You want to get Flat Earther on too? Because
I do. I want to have, bro.
I might have to not be here for that one.
Come on, don't be a pussy. Don't.
Because I won't buy into it. Like,
listen, you don't have to buy into it. I'm telling you, I don't. I am, again, this is the fourth time I'm going to explain this. I do not believe the earth is flat. I believe the earth is round. I'm a normal human being. I just find it interesting. I love watching it, man, no matter what I believe. It's the same with religion, okay? I guess you could call me a Christian. I believe in God in that sense. I believe in a great creator. But I want to read shit about other religions to see why they believe what they believe and what they believe. I don't think I think that's so much fun, man. I can't believe you don't.
See, like I said, I've delved into a lot of the shows. That's where I get my information, and everything I've seen, all the religions, the stories, just all align. Like that Ancient Apocalypse was big on it too.
I got to get back into that one.
All the stories align for the Great Flood, and like if you go back in time and you see why are all the drawings over in China or the Middle East the same as in Mexico, and
or the structures, how are the structures similar is always what gets me. Did you see though, little side note, did you see though that I don't remember how recent it was, but I was just watching something about this, that they thought they found Noah's Ark?
No.
Where the Bible says that it rested.
Are there pictures?
So they started digging where the Bible says that it is, and they got down to a certain point where they started to hit wooden walls, and they started digging it out. So I have to go back to that. I got to find that again and start watching more and reading more about it. That's interesting. That's fucking cool. Like, could you imagine if that's a legit thing? Like, that's a real part of history, the Great Flood, because that's what they're trying to prove, is that there was a Great Flood at one point in time. I also
they're not trying to prove that. They know that.
Well, they know that about like the Ice Age and all that bullshit, but like, was there? I don't know.
But
there's
that's
still
when
controversy
the Great
about it.
Flood was.
The other thing I saw was today. I was watching a cool video, and I have to find the original documentary for this, where they found a lake under the ocean where the water is denser than the ocean water. Like a literal lake on the bottom of the ocean that their submarine could not submerge into because the salinity was too high and it wouldn't go through it. But like the divers were there, and they could like stick their hand in the water below the water, because they talk about how there's like an earth within the earth. We gotta talk about like we gotta talk about that shit, like Land of the Lost kind of shit.
Find that shit for me, because I want to see that.
Thank you, Justin. We appreciate that support. I appreciate you, man. Joseph says, if you randomly were to wake up on a train, you would ask 3 questions. How did I get here? Where am I going? And what am I doing on this train? That's, big questions are essential. Otherwise, where is our purpose? Yes. That's why the name of our show is Nonsense and Deep Thoughts, because a lot of what we talk about is some fucking nonsense, but we do get the deep thoughts in there, and that's where we really go on some good tangents. And guys are awesome, by the way. Yo, thank you so much, Joseph. I appreciate that, man. Yeah. But now we got to try to make this a little more regular, Justin. Now that we're getting back into the swing of things. Guys, it has been a long year. Make sure, let's throw this banner up here too again. Make sure you check out this project of mine. You know, my daughter was born on May 23rd of this year, 7 weeks early. She came out 7 weeks early. She's got Down syndrome, and she had a TEF, tracheoesophageal fistula. So she had to have surgery at 3 days old to connect her esophagus to her stomach. And because of everything that happened, she was in the NICU for 52 days. It inspired me to do something, create a new project, a new podcast to try to help out with other parents who've gone through the same thing, so they could hear stories and share their story, possibly to help others get through a tough time, being in the NICU, the PICU, the cardiac intensive care unit. So check that out. But because of that, everything that happened back in May, it's been a long year. I haven't had time to do much of anything. The podcast got put on the back burner. It's not because we didn't want to do it anymore. It's because life got hectic. My time was all kinds of screwed up. And we're finally getting used to the new normal in my home. So we're hoping to get back into the flow of things and try to make this more regular again, because we miss it. So guys, if you are on Facebook, make sure to follow our Facebook page as well. Give us some ideas on things you want to hear about, things you want to discuss. This is an interactive show. It's not just me and Justin. You guys can help guide the discussion. We'll talk about literally anything. I'm not shy. I don't give a shit anymore. I used to try to tiptoe around certain topics, but it is what it is. You're going to get us raw, baby, because we like it raw. Ain't that right, Justin?
We ain't wrapping it.
So we appreciate you guys checking it out. Make sure you share the stream, share the video once the stream is done. Share the video with friends and family. Get them to check it out, and make sure you go back through the library and check out some of our older episodes as well. If you check out season 4, episode 15, it starts at season 4 because everything before that was just a trial period. It was just working out the kinks. Now that we got our audio and video down, we're smooth sailing. But season 4, episode 15 was probably our biggest moment that we ever had. We got to host the great Dave Landau. Used to be a co-host on the Louder with Crowder show. He is a top-notch comedian. Fantastic stuff, man. So make sure you check that one out if you check out any of them. Fucking great. Let's see. If it means anything to you, I will send some prayers up for Corey. I appreciate that, Joseph. That does mean a lot. I will say that's something that I did when we were down there in the NICU, and especially waiting through her surgery. I have never prayed so much in my life. I was never really a praying man because I always felt like it went unheard. My prayers always went unheard, unanswered. It didn't help anything. But I prayed like crazy when she was in the NICU. And, I was forever grateful. I had people who had me on prayer chains, prayer requests in their churches and stuff. And it hit the heart, man. It really felt good. And I felt it, I really did feel it. So thank you guys again for hanging out with us. Justin, you got anything else to add before we head out?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. Well, if that's the case, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. I hope you had a good time. Make sure you catch us next time. Follow along everywhere you can follow: Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, you name it. Find us anywhere and pay attention. Find out when we're going to be on next. Hopefully we'll have our shit together soon. So until next time, everybody, we'll see y'all later.
Later.
All right, y'all. It's the Nonsense and Deep Thoughts Podcast.